and the war hero is killed, and there's no Hollywood ending. How? And it was a musical, a rock opera in 1975, way past the era when that gets done. How did that movie work? How did it get made? Why do you think it had the sort of lasting power that it does? Why people are still excited to see it tonight?
Well, the music is great.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the Who, Chosen and Daltrey and John and Kevin Moon. Keith Moon.
Yeah.
Bless their souls.
The,
oh my gosh.
You followed Pete Townsend around London, right? When you got there, that's like how you spent your first half a week or something, just following.
Well,
Pete
we
around.
recorded immediately, but before that, I had never met Ken. And I came, we went to lunch together, and I'd heard stories about him that he was really volatile. And he must have sensed that there's no way if a person yells at me, because there never was any yelling in our family ever. I could never continue doing something if somebody yelled at me.
Is that right?
Yes.
So directors had to.
Well, somehow or another, Ken realized that just from having lunch with me that day.
The best directors are intuitive like that.
Exactly.
George Sidney, you mentioned as another mentor.
Oh.
Was George intuitive in that way?
Oh my gosh, he taught me so much about lighting, about really listening to the person that you're talking to in the scene, about clothes and makeup, hair, everything. Oh, bless his soul. Yes, he and Mr. Burns were.
In that scene, and I think I know the answer to this, it has to be, in that scene that we just saw, that wonderful scene, and the chemistry between you and Elvis is so right. I mean, I haven't seen that movie in 12 years, and you can see it right away. When you push him into the pool, he doesn't go into the pool, right? That's a stunt. Was it a stunt man, or did Elvis
No,
take that
he
time?
went.
That was Elvis?
Yeah. Woo, woo. Yeah.
Makes me happy somehow.
No, he deserved it. He was always teasing me, and I just teased him right back.
Just one question about that. You write so beautifully about him. That's one thing I was going to read. The parallel careers. That's what strikes me, is that you both sort of you could easily have been, for all the success you had, you both were kind of oddly lonely. Is that fair to say? You think that's what created that friendship?
I've never heard anybody say that.
Well, it's a good chance it's wrong. that may be why.
I don't talk about him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, if you have a chance to read Ann-Margret's book, and you should, she just tells beautiful stories about Elvis and all these people she worked with, and the way you look at these people is so kind and honest.
He was a pioneer, unbelievable, and yeah.
So I'll finish up because we got to go because you're going to present a George Sidney
Yes.
Award, and
Yes.
it was George who cast you in those not your first two movies, but the
Yes.
movies that made you. Do you remember quickly how he discovered you, where he saw you?
Oh boy, you've done your homework. Boy, oh boy.
Oh, thank you. It's fun to do. Look, when you get the chance to interview